Magical Spiral, by developer Broken Desk, is a platformer that contains RPG elements. While its graphics and gameplay are reminiscent of those found in PSX titles, its overall design matches that of old-school platformers where narrative is used as the glue to hold stages together. To wax way too philosophical way too early in the review, the clear boundaries between gameplay on the one hand and narrative exposition on the other reminded me of the ludology versus narratology debates of the early 2000s that had me questioning why I play games in the first place. Is it the rules that structure play, or is it the story? In this case, the story really isn't anything epic. One of the characters is climbing the tower to reach the fabled kingdom that is said to be at the top, while the other wants to find information on his father's murder. There are two playable characters, Median and Soberu, although you need to finish the game once to unlock Soberu. The game really seems to be about unlocking things, whether this be achievements or skills or even endings. Case in point, after clearing the game with both characters, a new true path is unlocked for play. Overall, there are roughly 24 stages in total if you include the final boss fights. Magical Spiral, like certain stages of Kid Icarus or Metroid, is a platformer where you go up. If you miss a jump or get blindsided by an enemy, there's the potential of falling all the way back down to the beginning of the stage. As the controls are pretty forgiving though, this is rare. Since characters don't take damage from long falls, the only real injury is the one's pride for not sticking every landing. Characters have 4 commands that include a physical attack, a jump, and 2 assignable elemental spells. As you progress through the game, different elemental spirits accompany you on your journey up the tower. By defeating enemies, opening chests, and meeting certain stage-related conditions as you climb, you earn coins that can be used to upgrade character stats. While upgrading some stats have clear benefits, consider HP and MP for example, others are a bit harder to understand. Here's some footage of the final battle with each character. In this case, my physical and magical defense are both under 75% max, while in this second case, both are maxed. Assuming that there are no hidden stat differences in defense between the two characters, the results here are somewhat perplexing. Using coins to purchase restorative items or new elemental spells provides more tangible results. While one can easily get through the game with the 2 standard spells that come with each elemental, some of the higher level spells are insanely game-breaking in terms of their DPS and range. It's kind of fun. What I just mentioned are some minor issues with the game that could be tweaked to improve overall balance. There are a few concerns though that, if remedied, would greatly improve the quality of the gameplay. First to the physics. While generally responsive, especially the sliding mechanics of snow, there are moments, whether intentional or not, where the laws do not apply. On stage 6 of Median's True Path, there is this rather interesting possibility. Now I'm not sure if this is by design or not, simply because without exploiting this, there is no way to access the room with the gold chest. Once you're there, the only way out is to reset to the intermission, a feature that can be used freely without penalties. Interestingly, Soberu can't ghost his way into this area, although he can still open the chest. The second improvement would be to enemy AI, especially bosses. Like many 8-bit platformers, enemies have a limited range of predictable behaviors, making the game less about strategic action and more about memorizing patterns, or buying a ton of cheap healing items and simply tanking it out. For those on short supply of healing items, have no fear. Enemy behaviors can also be exploited to trigger loops. Standing too close, using a certain skill, or moving in a certain way can often force enemies to do things, which is especially useful in boss fights, or cheaty depending on your point of view. I take no stand on the manipulation of game mechanics. Overall, Magical Spiral is a short platformer that has potential but needs refinement. While I understand the trend to add stories to games, let's not forget that games aren't necessarily narratively driven media, a fact that is especially true in platformers. Now I'm not saying that it can't be done, but for this game, a focus on the mechanics that drives people to play would be welcome. I'm playing, and will come back to play, Magical Spiral not because I care about the story, but because I want to climb that damn tower faster, quicker, better.